with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I am here to talk live about the African connection. Anthony Joshua, Martin Bakole, Effie Ajagba, Francis Ngannou. Who else is a part of that crew? You can throw Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder in there. Bryce Productions. Hi. Counterpunch to you, sir. We need to talk because things got a little heated with Martin Bakole yesterday. And I believe Martin Bakole, is light spoken as he may be, he's still pissed off. It may not seem like it. I am mad at you. I am mad at you. This is for you, Anthony Joshua. You're still talking, this is foolishness. And I will get you. Bill Keevan in the building. What's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Member in the building. Mama Lou, Counterpunch to you. Kurt, it's going great. Mama Lou, it's going great. It is going great. Top of the morning to me. Afternoon to you guys. A lot of you guys, because, of course, you're in another part of the world. The world is so big and vast that it's different time zones to complete it. And Bill Keevan, I say this. I say Martin Bakole is a guy that he upset the apple cart. Martin Bakole is that guy that now everyone's looking at, and they always have to regroup because they have to see risk versus reward. I bet you a lot of these guys are hoping that Turkey doesn't want that fight. Problem for Bakole, he has no title to tempt AJ into a fight. Well, I think it's a little deeper than that. I think at this point, I'm just eager to know who's going to want to fight Martin Bakole when Martin Bakole takes the whole thing. If he can take the whole thing, if he can beat Kabayel. So that means, look at the itinerary. Okay, he's beaten Carlos Takam, which, it's Carlos. He's beaten Jared Anderson. Now that was the kind of the alarm right there. Okay, that was the alarm. Then he fights Kabayel. If he beats Kabayel, which no one's ever done, after Kabayel has slayed two undefeated fighters, Arslanbek and Frank Sanchez, that means he's beat Jared Anderson, Kabayel, and then he's putting himself in position for the title. So that leaves him with what? The outcome of Parker versus Dubois, which is the champion there, Dubois. So he beats those guys. Do you understand how vacant, how quiet, how, I wouldn't even say boring, but calm the IBF belt would be at that point? I guarantee you, if Martin Bakole slays all those guys, that's more casualties, for evidence. So people now have more evidence that this man can do exactly what he said he did in sparring. And since he's doing it now in real time, you're looking at it like, oh man, wait a minute, hold on a second. I don't know. Kabayel was tough. Danny Dubois was a beast. So if he beats Danny Dubois, I think those are Joseph Parker. So Jared Anderson, Kabayel, Danny Dubois, or Joseph Parker, he will then get the bona fide label of being a don't mess with this guy, but badass. He will be a legitimate badass because then people won't care about the IBF because nobody really wants to be slayed. They'll rather fight someone like AJ that they're like, no, let's fight AJ since AJ may be on his way out of the sport, but we know we'll make more money and we'll earn more money with AJ versus fighting someone with the IBF strap like Bakole. Bakole's a dude nobody wanted to mess with anyhow. Now we know why. Shannon the Cannon wants a bit of Dubois. I bet he does. If I'm Shannon the Cannon, I would want some of Dubois. Why? Because Dubois is a fighter that's going to come right at you. He's not going to move around the ring. He's not going to give you too much mobility. He's going to take it to you. That's what he's going to do. He's not going to sit there and try to box you. He may come in and out a couple times, but he's coming in for the kill. And I think someone like Shannon the Cannon, that, believe it or not, Shannon with that, let's go, champ, right? I still think he may just still have the punching power. You know what I mean? Because I know Shannon the Cannon, the cannon, yeah, that means he's throwing those bows. Okay. Hold on a second. So yeah, if I was him, I would want that too. Then I get a payday. So for Shannon the Cannon, that's more like a retirement. So if he can talk himself into a fight with Danny Dubois, I think what Danny Dubois is trying to do, Shannon the Cannon has already perfected when he was chasing Vladimir Klitschko all around the planet. So if anybody can muster up a call out, a ever glorious troll, okay, it's Shannon the Cannon. So if Shannon really wants it, he knows what to do to get it. Okay, that's what I'm saying. If he wants it, he knows what and how to get it. He has to troll. He has to definitely put him on blast. He has to tell Danny Dubois, like, listen, Daniel, I want you to fight me, son. You need to fight me, Daniel. Triple D, you need to fight me, son. I'm Shannon the Cannon, son. Yeah, come get some, son. Come get some of this old cannon. This old cannon gonna take you out, son. I'm ready, son. Go to the UK. He went to Germany, messing with Klitschko, because Klitschko hangs around Germany. That's like a second home, believe it or not. He might be in Germany right now. When things, from that WAR gets too tough or gets too rough, Vlad might just go to Germany. But saying all that to say this, Shannon the Cannon knows how to troll. Okay? He did more trolling. His second comeback was a call out, a troll, trash talk, self-promotion. That was his comeback. Let's go, champ. This dude had a video game made for him. I used to play it. It was about 8 years ago now. Shannon the Cannon had a video game called Let's Go Champ, and it was a real video game. It was kind of like Mario. He had his arms would like you would jump, and then you would jump over these obstacles, and you had all these little obstacles. And Shannon the Cannon, bro, you would jump, and then you would get this little power up deal, and then he could throw his arms, and he could punch everything down, kind of like the star in Mario, the invincibility factor that you would get when you get to the star. Well, this had the little power deal, and he would just start swinging his arms like this, and he could start knocking stuff out of the way. And I played it religiously, bro. I played that damn game a lot. It was fun. But understand, who did Shannon the Cannon beat? I mean, he busted up some people, some no-names, some journeymen, on his way to fame, waiting for that big call-out, waiting for Klitschko to finally crack, waiting for those type of fights. He wanted those fights because he knew what was attached to those fights. Money, duckies, cash, cheddar, cheese, dollar bills, y'all. That's what he knew. And Shannon the Cannon showed us that it didn't matter if you didn't have a title. It didn't matter if you weren't really ranked high. It didn't matter. What mattered was in the media world, with everyone getting to know what media was about. All you need is media. All you need is that platform. And then you need a personality. You need a target. And he had one. He had Vladimir Klitschko because he wanted Klitschko so bad he could taste it. Now, he fought Vitali that put him in the hospital for 2 weeks. Shannon the Cannon. But understand, he wanted his brother Vlad because, see, Vitali was out of the game by then. He went to politics. Well, Vlad was still around in the gyms, hanging out with Holyfield and them cats, you know what I mean? And just, Michael Moore, all those guys hung around each other. And they were kind of like this old clique of dudes that still wanted to do what they did in the gym, which was awesome, honestly. But here comes Shannon the Cannon. Jay, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. The live is here and the live is new. Let's go. And listen, if he wants that, if he really wants that fight, if he really wants that fight, he will go for that fight. You know, he could take that fight to Danny Dubois because it really, Daniel fighting Joseph Parker, gets past Joseph Parker. He's eventually gonna have to deal with Martin Bakole, but maybe he will get a voluntary in between. You know, because the IBF is, pretty stringent. You know, now if everybody was like the IBF, people will have their head like a swivel. On those mandatories because IBF though. Their thing is, this is my problem with the IBF. They love the contender. It's almost like they have something against the champ. So, wow. Okay, 36. Wow, 36 degrees, man. It's cold. It's cold outside. Would be funny if Shannon the Cannon beat Dubois. Well, I mean, yeah, it would, and then he would be the oldest heavyweight ever. How old is Shannon the Cannon Briggs?
Shannon Briggs is 53 years old.
He's 53. So that meant what Vlad is trying to do in Cannon, Shannon can go and do. That means that, man, Shannon the Cannon would make history. And Shannon the Cannon would, yeah, because you know what that would mean? That would mean Shannon the Cannon would be a 3-time heavyweight champion of the world at 53 years old, beating George Foreman, the lean, mean, fat-reducing machines record, okay, for being the oldest heavyweight. I mean, by 8 years. When's his birthday? Hold on a second. Oh, man, hold on. December, okay, well, he just turned 53 last month, okay? A little bit over a month ago. He turned 53. So, snowing here, but hopefully it goes away. Yeah, well, good luck in January. Here's the thing, Bill. I think that if it goes away, I think it's time to get scared. You know what I mean? It's January. Now, like if I go outside and it's January and it's hot, bro, something's wrong. Something's wrong with our ecosystem. Something's bad's about to happen. So normality is good. It's cold. It's supposed to be cold. So therefore, let it be cold. You can't stay summer all the time. We're not in the Caribbean. And then the Caribbean pays every year by tropical storms and hurricanes and typhoons and such. So there you go. But yeah, man. Back to Bakole though. Bakole, yeah, he's mad at AJ. But really, I don't know why he's pissed at AJ. Why are you mad at AJ because AJ didn't pick you to beat someone else? And to me, maybe that's a reason to get riled up. Maybe he's using that as an excuse. I don't know. But I can tell you this. He better beat Efe Ajagba now. See, you tell AJ that he's this and that because he picked the wrong person. I would be calm approaching that. He's pissed. It sounds so calm. He does. Listen to this man. Listen, man. Look, I've received maybe about 4 or 5 of the same sound clip from Martin Bakole. Now, listen to this cat, right? Listen to Martin Bakole, how he sounds. Listen to this dude.
Hey, Anthony Joshua, this video is for you. I call out. I wanted to knock you out. And now you're talking shit to say Ajagba. Ajagba is going to beat me. Shame on you. How many times did I call you out? How many times did I ask you to fight in Africa? You don't even feel shame of yourself. I want to fight you. I want to knock you out. Look at Daniel Dubois, broke his nose twice. He knocked you out cold. What happened to me? I'll knock you out in the first round. We're talking about Ajagba. Ajagba is a baby. Wait till you see how I'm going to knock him out. I'll invite you to be there. You're talking shit. I want to fight you. Stop talking nonsense. Now you say you're Nigeria. You're not British anymore. I'll knock you out. I'm African giant. I'm African warrior. I'll knock you out. You. After knocking Ajagba out, I'll knock you out as well.
He was like, you know what that reminds me of, man? It reminds me of Half Baked. You remember when Dave Chappelle's friend went to jail for feeding the diabetic horse? If you guys were around back then, you know, that's a classic, Half Baked. And they were saying, hey man, there he was in prison and he's like, I'm gonna be somebody's bitch. And they're like, hey man, you gotta get mean. Show me you mean. And he goes, eh. And they're like, yeah, that's a start. That's how, and that's what popped in my mind when Martin Bakole did that. When Martin Bakole did that, and I'm like, dude, come on. You couldn't do any better than that. But yes, that man's voice is very deceiving. You could tell he was mad, but here's my thing though. I don't know, like he's from the Congo, right? Congolese? You know. Sounds like he's talking to a mate he hasn't seen in a long time. Yeah, but you know, it's crazy, but I think it's all about the overall perception. See, the thing is, Martin Bakole, it's probably, I heard Martin Bakole the first time in an interview maybe about 4 years ago. And I thought to myself, like, dude, the dude sounds weird. He doesn't sound menacing. He doesn't sound really, he doesn't necessarily sound like Mike Tyson. Because see, even Mike Tyson, though, looking at Mike, you'd be like, oh, hearing Mike is one thing, but seeing Mike and then Mike coming to you, oh, that's a different thing. That's like a bulldog, that been let loose and he's ready to wreak havoc on you. But I say, what's going on with Bakole is Bakole feels disrespected. He feels disrespected that AJ didn't pick him. But my thing is, why didn't AJ pick him? Why didn't AJ choose Bakole, knowing what Bakole's capable of? And I brought, of course we have that, the whole Nigerian thing. The whole Nigerian thing is coming about with, Efe Ajagba, staying close to, or supporting your national fighter. Hey, I'm sticking with Nigerian fighters, and for me though, honestly, I'm like, okay, that's bullshit. Why? Because what about Ika Barabuchi? We haven't heard anything. Have we heard AJ? Have anybody from 1 for yes and 2 for no? Have you heard Anthony Joshua speak on Ika Barabuchi ever? Have we heard AJ, being from Nigeria, since he's so close, since he wants to be, national supportive, have we heard, for 1 for yes, 2 for no, have we heard anything from Anthony Joshua supporting the return of Ika Barabuchi? Have we heard anything? Have we heard anything? Because I'm testing you guys, and, so that's, we can see if there's any bots in here, because it's okay. 2, no, okay. Mama Lou, thank you. Who else? Who else besides Mama Lou? Have we heard AJ say anything about or speak on Ika Barabuchi? They only play the Nigerian card in Africa. Okay. Fair enough. Martin Bakole better win than match with Ajagba. That's before his time. It don't matter. It's before his time. If anybody knew anything about boxing, bro, Muhammad Ali's before everybody's time, damn near. Come on, bro. You hear him talk about Lennox Lewis. Lennox Lewis was before his time. He talked about Lennox. So if you can talk about Lennox from Britain, you can talk about Efe Ajagba from Nigeria. If you claim to have these strong Nigerian roots of both of your parents from Nigeria, why aren't you talking about someone that's from Nigeria? that's an undefeated fighter, unlike yourself. Think about it. Okay, so is it besides Mamalu and Bill Kivany? Is there anybody else? One, have heard anything about AJ? We're not even voting. Because him picking Efe Ajagba over Martin Bakole is kind of weird. You know what I mean? But here's the deal. If Efe wins, then AJ will look like a genius. I get it. But my thing is he sparred with Bakole. They went toe-to-toe. According to Bakole, AJ was the only person that stood like with him and got with him and gave him a challenge. Everybody else, he claims, Usyk, Joyce, Dubois. Who else? Who was that other guy that he said he bashed up? It was somebody else he said he beat up. Can't remember. I can't remember who was the other person. Was it Tyson Fury? Endless. Okay, so we have, but like Efe Ajagba's coming back, and he's supposed to have came back, and I don't know. I think for him, I think he's one of those kind of Edwin Valedo kind of guys. I hope he doesn't end up in the same situation, but like he can't get a fair shake. He doesn't have the what's the word? The paperwork, right? To be here. So it's crazy. It's crazy. What I don't get though, about AJ though. AJ Bakole beat Ali, Foreman, and Lewis all in one night in sparring. Yeah, to let him tell it, But then again, for Martin Bakole, he's still under the spotlight in a sense because here's my thing. He did a bad thing. There's two things Martin Bakole did very, very bad that you don't supposed to do. One, you don't supposed to beat the guy that's crowned to be the next heavyweight American champ. That was a no-no. I think that he got a lot of flack for that. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that was the wrong thing to do. Two, before that, you don't say who you beat up in sparring, especially guys that are champs right now. The two guys that are champions, Alexander Usyk and Daniel Dubois, are champions. They are the heavyweight champions, right? Bakole said he stopped Usyk and he obliterated Daniel Dubois. So those are two things you don't do, and then that's also based on the fact that you don't really know how people frown on that. And you don't know, he doesn't understand, like, hey, bro, you could have affected your overall appeal to even get chosen for a fight because you're saying what happened in practice. You're pretty much snitching for your own benefit. But here's the thing. According to him, he only snitched because he couldn't get the fights that he wanted. You see what I mean? So my thing, if I'm Daniel Dubois, forget all this other stuff. I would be trying to bust up Bakole. I'll be trying to get Bakole in the ring with me. I'll be trying to get him in the ring with me. That would be what I would be trying to do. I wouldn't be trying to do anything else. Who is fighting next? Tomorrow, man, we have Jaya Pataya tomorrow. He's fighting tomorrow on the 8th. So it's kind of tricky because you guys are a day ahead. So I think it may be Thursday for you guys, but Wednesday for us. So what the hell, let's see. Yeah, David Yinka. Okay, it's in the Gold Coast. That's where Eddie Hearn's actually at right now. He's on the Gold Coast. It's not in Miami. Okay, Wednesday for both of us. Both of us. Okay, I see. It's going to be on the Zone, so it's going to be like a midweek card, which, get it out the way, I guess. Daniel Dubois did say he beat AJ in sparring. No, I'm not talking about what Daniel say he beat. Well, I don't know. Daniel, though, he wasn't really as keen to say. He said that a long time ago, like 8 years ago, but now it doesn't matter because he already beat AJ up. He didn't parade around like Bakole's doing. Not Daniel. Daniel, they asked him one time, he was kind of hesitant to speak about it. He mentioned it, and then you heard him in other ones. He's like, "Oh, we sparred," you know what I mean? Because you remember something. He was a kid too, and Daniel's a shy guy. He's not a real outspoken dude. He's shy. He's quiet. But those are the ones you got to watch out for. Obviously, them ones that slam their hand down on the table and say enough talking. Let's get the fight on. Bakole is simply hoping someone will take the bait. He is, and I think he knows, though, he has a certain amount of time. Boxing is it's so slimy, because this man had to say what he did in sparring because nobody would give him an opportunity. But then here's the problem with the opportunities. The opportunities come from overall appeal. You see a guy that's 6'6" and damn near 300 pounds, and he's talking like he's he's talking like a cartoon voiceover. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of hard to promote. I want to fight you. I want to shame on you. Shame on you, Joshua. You're talking shit, Joshua. And I would think, when is like some of the Congolese dialect gonna kick in? Because like some people that they know like English is their second or third language. They're gonna get pissed off and then just start talking in their native tongue because they're like, okay, screw this, interpret this, blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? And then they'll let that rip. Then you can see who that really is. But yeah, that voice is not for radio, people. It's not for radio. I'm sorry, it's not. Bakole is pissed off because he can't get a big fight. Zang and Kabayel ducked him to fight each other. Yeah, well, for bragging rights, that's good, but it's really no good if you can't show your talent. So I get what you're saying, Luca, because it's still bad. Because if nobody wants to fight you, you can't prove how good you are. Bakole is a funny man. Love his character. He wants all the smoke in the world. Yeah, he does. AJ will always support a Nigerian. He ain't supporting Efe Ajagba. I mean, he's not supporting Ika Barabuchi. That's the thing, And really, Efe Ajagba, bro. Efe Ajagba's, besides that Curtis Harper fight, because that was classic. That fight, ding, ding, the dude walked out the ring. You remember that? Bakole is super overrated, just like Jay Anderson was. Well, I don't know. You can't say that because he took out Jared Anderson. That's stupid. So you can't say that, really. Because if he beat him, how can he be that much overrated than him? No, he just took out the guy that was claiming to be the guy. He took him out. So no. Why would AJ risking fighting Bakole when he can fight washed up Prime Fury for much more money in 2 fights? Exactly. Alligator, he's not dumb. I don't even know if look, here's the thing, and let's keep it a buck. Good job, Jay. How can Jared Anderson be a hype job when he gets destroyed by Martin Bakole and Martin Bakole destroys everybody else? This has to be something that's going to have to sort itself out. Okay? By process of elimination, and we'll see who is who. And it's not because of one fight either. It's about what he does with the rest of his career. Who did Anderson beat, to be honest? Nobody yet. That's the whole problem. When he did step up in competition, he got beat. But understand, he stepped up in competition. Mark Bakole was not a guy that had a reputation of being a nobody. He had a reputation, like he still has to this day, of being someone that nobody wanted to fight. He's unavoided for a reason. He is the current day Luis Ortiz to me, because he's that dude that nobody wants to fight. Matchroom signed Ortiz, Al Heyman signed Ortiz, and they both, really, to be honest, they both fucked him. They did. They fucked Luis Ortiz. How? Well, Eddie didn't want to get him in there with AJ or anybody else or Dillian White. He could have done any of those fights. He didn't want any of those. He gave him those low volume. He gave him a diver, Malik Scott. He gave Eddie Hearn put Luis Ortiz in there with a diver, a professional diver. Oh, he didn't even, bro, you're a bad stunt man. Your fight choreography sucks. And we all know for a second, we all know that what you did was trash. We know you took a dive against Wilder, your homeboy, which you train right now. We know that. And who was the second dude? Dave Allen. Dave Allen, even at that time, Dave wasn't even looked at as one of the premier heavyweights. So no, Luis Ortiz didn't have a chance. And then he goes to Al Heyman. Al Heyman puts him on ice for Deontay Wilder. And then he did it long enough. Now, he had his own problems with the drug or whatever he was taking. But Luis Ortiz did that long enough. You know, he stayed in that status long enough. Sure, he had some fights, but they weren't true. They weren't fights that was going to get him anywhere, you know, and he got a title shot against Wilder. So at least Al Heyman got him a title shot. So, you know, to be fair, Al Heyman did a lot more for him than Eddie Hearn did. But understand, by the time Luis Ortiz fought Deontay Wilder, he was 39 years, 11 months, and about so many days old. He was 40 years old by the time he got that opportunity. You know, he got the opportunity again, but understand, when he got that opportunity to fight Wilder, and Wilder pulled that fight out, right? He pulled that fight out, and that just showed Wilder had heart. Wilder, you know, had a lot more, because he didn't really have all the skill in the world, but he had the power, right? And he had the heart. And the heart got him through that fight, because that 7th round was very dangerous for him. Now, they gave him a little bit more time. You know, he's the champ, so they gave him concessions, but he still pulled that fight out, okay? But understand this. After that, Al Heyman fucked him. How? Well, AJ and company called him out, offered this man, what, 5 to 7 mil. Jay Jimenez, his manager, somehow blasted it on social media. Like, who does that? Right? Then Eddie goes, oh, well, that's my excuse to get out of this fight anyway, because I didn't really want AJ in that fight with Luis Ortiz, because how bad would it look if Wilder already beat Ortiz, then Ortiz gets a fight with AJ and ends up upsetting AJ? Think about what I'm saying. Now, this is before AJ got whooped by Andy Ruiz. So guess what? Those whoopings and beatings and defeats were inevitably going to happen anyway for both fighters. You know, but Luis Ortiz was screwed. He never had a chance. He was sabotaged by his own team, because his own team was really Al Heyman. So Al Heyman phoned Jay Jimenez and said, you know what? You're going to get out of this fight, because we're holding him for a fight later on this year against Wilder again. So he's getting a rematch on the WBC end. So you're not dealing with Eddie Hearn. And that's what happened. And Eddie Hearn, honestly, didn't want that fight anyway, because had he wanted that fight, he would have then, he wouldn't have went back to Derek Chisora so fast. You see what I mean? See, the thing is, he claimed that Dillian White wanted that fight. Well, if Dillian White wanted that fight, well, why didn't you stay in negotiations with him? It's the intolerance for Eddie Hearn versus the tolerance for Eddie Hearn. It always resided with a British fighter. See, they asked Derek Chisora if he wanted to fight Dillian White. Derek Chisora wanted too much money. Everybody knows Derek Chisora asked for too much money. I want more money, man. Give me more money. Where's the money at, Eddie? I want more money. So he said no. And then Luis Ortiz, okay? So there you go. And then Luis Ortiz, you know, they messed around or whatever. He's like, all right, fine, boom. let's go ahead and go back to Derek Chisora, renegotiate, and then that's why Derek Chisora and Dillian White fought again in 2019. Sounds like Bakole beating Anderson is like he beat a top 10 fighter. Well, here's the thing. When he beats everybody else, what you gonna say, Joe Key? Are you still gonna be talking hard on? Is Jared Anderson gonna be a hype job when Mark Bakole beats everyone else? Maybe he just got in front of a real one. Come on, man. We acting like this is like, oh well, he's a hype job. Why do people do that? When a guy steps up in class and he gets beat, why is he in hype job when the guy that beats him beats everybody else or stays a challenging fighter throughout his career? Why do we do that? Why are we so unforgiving in the sport? He's a kid, bro. He's like 24. He's young. For a heavyweight, he's young. So, I mean, we need to call a buck a buck. Chisora taught Fury how to be a greedy belly. Without having the belly, obviously. Anderson was a hype job and was badly exposed by Bakole. Charles Martin was able to hurt Anderson, and it wouldn't have been strange. Okay, I'll tell you what. Okay, here's the deal. Let me counterpunch you, alligator. Whatever. Tater toe Tavik. If Jared Anderson was such a hype job, listen to me, people. He would have got beat by Charles Martin. He was not a hype job. Bro, the man got knocked down 4 times against Martin Bakole, and he got up 4 times. Or was it 5? Okay, so listen, man, I don't think that we're looking at this the way we should. You know? And here's the sad part. Okay, you guys can call Jared Anderson a hype job if you want to. But if that big-ass Congolese last king of Scotland comes about and beats and kicks, if he whoops Kabayel and he whoops Daniel Dubois or Joseph Parker, either one, what you going to say then? You still going to call Jared Anderson a hype job? Oh, man, he should have done it. Well, none of those other dudes did. Are you calling Danny Dubois a hype job? Are you calling Joseph Parker a hype job? Are you calling Kabayel a hype job? Are you calling these guys a hype job? That's what I don't get about you guys. Oh, he's a hype job, man. No, because if he was such a hype job, he would have got beat by the first person that had a strap. Understand, Charles Martin is Charles Martin. I walk this earth like a god. Like a god. But understand, he had his own, ups and downs. He got knocked out by AJ. He got beat by Adam Kalnaki. He got beat by Luis Ortiz. He got beat by Jared Anderson. And the thing is, yeah, did he show Jared something? Did Jared learn something? Sure. But just because you learn something on your way up does not equate you being a hype job. Hype jobs are people that claim to be this, and then as soon as they get in front of someone that has any inkling of any type of experience, they get hurt. He got hurt. He got stunned. Now, he said he wasn't hurt. No, he was hurt. You can tell with the legs. The legs don't lie. So you can miss me with that, Jared. But Jared showed that, hey, he had grit. He could take a shot. He's not going to go out that easy. Now, I always knew he lacked punching power. Sure, but understand this. I mean, I don't think it's all about punching power. Ask Alexander Usyk. You don't have to have this supreme punching power to be dominant or to be successful being a heavyweight fighter. Hell, Muhammad Ali didn't have this supreme punching power. He just knew how to punch you, when to punch you, where to punch you, consistency, the jab, the footwork, the IQ, the distance, a lot of stuff like that. Okay, so Jared Anderson, he got hurt by Martin Bakole, but understand Martin Bakole has been saying he's been whooping these guys. So let's stop like we don't know what the hell Martin Bakole claimed to be. Okay, now will it make Jared Anderson that loss? Will it make it look poorer if Martin gets beat? Sure. But understand, if you get beat by a guy that, and Martin Bakole's been beat by who? Michael Hunter. Michael Hunter, the bounty. Michael Hunter is one of the most avoided fighters out there. He doesn't have the backing. Another fighter that was once signed with Eddie Hearn. And see, you know something though. Let's talk about Eddie for a minute. Eddie had AJ. He had this cash cow. He had Canelo for a bit. So he had these. He has Bivol. He had Alexander Usyk. He had Triple G. He had a lot of these guys. But the thing is, you can have whoever you want, but if you're not able to keep these guys, something's wrong. And then I think the problem is he didn't respect his full stable of fighters versus, just a couple. You lied all of your trust and your energy on AJ and Canelo, but in the meantime, you had all these guys that you could have kept. He could have kept Michael Hunter happy. But then here's the thing. It affected Michael more than it affected Eddie Hearn. But in a whole, it affected both because see now Eddie, who does Eddie have that's on the win? Why do you think Eddie now is everyone, damn near everyone that he's had has lost. Everyone that he had, they've lost. All of them. Every one of them have lost, including Bivol. Canelo, Bivol, AJ, all of those dudes. Hergovic, they've all been beaten. That whole 5 for 5, he didn't win a single fight in that series. And that goes to show you, like, hey, you got to be careful. Wilder, he lost because he had Wilder. So everyone that he chose lost. But understand, that's why you can't overlook certain fighters and think that those fighters you overlook are not going to do something spectacular in their lives or in their careers. And for Michael Hunter, he got offered some bullshit fights, just like Luis Ortiz did. That's why he left. I talked to Michael Hunter. You forgot he was on the channel. Michael said, hey, I didn't want to deal with Eddie Hearn because Eddie Hearn gave me bullshit fights, and I didn't want to fight Filip Hrgovic overseas because I didn't really want to deal with Eddie Hearn because it was the reminder of the bullshit that he already put me through. That's what he said. Yeah. Okay, in a nutshell. Johnny Fisher and Ben Whittaker are hype jobs. Yep. That I will agree with. Why? Because if you go in there against Dave Allen, bro, Dave Allen with 6 losses, a guy that's proven to be beat. Martin Bakole has not proven to be beat. You know what a hype job is? A hype job is a person that goes in there but claims to be one of the best and gets beat by a guy that's unknown, that's been known to be beat over and over again. A known loser, especially at a certain level. So you beat a guy, if a guy beats you and he's here and you claim to be here, you're a hype job because that means that you couldn't beat a guy that other people have found a way to beat. And you haven't found a way to do that. So that means you don't have the savvy or the IQ to do what those guys did, regardless of what their style were. They came out victorious. Some people you can't knock out. So if you try to knock out somebody that doesn't get knocked out and you get knocked out, that's on you. Because somebody figured, whoever beat him, hey, I'm not going to be able to knock this dude out. So I'm going to have to finesse this dude and piece him up for the amount of rounds that this fight lasts. Okay? That's how certain fighters do it. Just giving an example. But what I'm saying is, Dave Allen, 6 losses. Johnny Fisher, undefeated fighter. You get chinned by Dave Allen, bro, and you get beat every round after that. So you get a 2-point round and you get beat every round after that. What was the 4th round, 5th round? And it went 10? Bro, come on. Yeah, Johnny Fisher's a hype job. Now, Ben Whittaker, I don't know about him. I know Johnny Fisher. I'm across the fence with Ben Whittaker. I want to see what he does, and I want to see what he does with the guy that he got in there with when they flipped out of the ring. They have to run that back. We have to see if the showboating king, or the prince, rather, let's see what he can do. Let's see what he can do. Boots Ennis and Conor Benn are other hype jobs, both beaten nobodies and marked as elite fighters. Here's the thing: they're on the fence too. We'll see that. That's your prediction. However, I don't know. Conor Benn, I like what I see with Conor. He works the body, he digs deep to the body. He's got good movement. You know, he moves like I wish Oscar Rivas moved. You know, that's how okay. The way Conor Benn moves is the way that Oscar Rivas, with all that potential, would move if he was trained by like Teddy Atlas. You know, somebody with the peekaboo style. That's how he would move. That's how he should move. Not just sit there and show someone you're real tough and you got punching power. But bro, you got a damaged eye, you got a good chin, you got heart, you're strong and all that shit. But yet your defense needs tightening up. You know what I mean? He needs someone that's going to show him how you do it. And just empty his cup, bro, and fill it with something else. You know? Topentine, I believe Fury was a hype job when he couldn't do what he said he was going to do to Usyk. I mean, no, that's stupid too, because what do you think of Usyk? You know what I mean? That's flawed. Because it's like, okay, he just wasn't as good as we thought he was. But look, let's stop calling, okay, what is this hype job shit? Is everybody a hype job that gets beat? Everybody's a hype job that gets beat. Is everyone a hype job that gets beat? 1 for yes, 2 for no. That's because I'm hearing this, man. He's a hype job. I knew he was a hype job because he couldn't do this to this dude. Well, if this dude was the best in the division, how is he a hype job? He's just not better than the dude in the division. Do you know what I mean? Like a lot of people want to say and claim and label hype job. Hype job is someone that says I'm this, but you're really not you're nowhere near what you thought you were. You know, Tyson tried, AJ tried, Daniel Dubois tried, Tony Bellew tried. All these guys tried and none of them has succeeded. But to call them all hype jobs, well, what does it say about the dude? What does it say about Usyk? You have to look at the guy that beat him, and it's like, damn, if you shit on everybody that guy beat, who does he look? He looks like a shit beater. He's smelling very shitty right now because he's only beating guys that were shit, right? So let's just be real about boxing for a second. These up-and-coming dudes, yeah, it's safe to say, yeah, he's a hype job because he hasn't really been anywhere. Tyson Fury been 24 rounds with Alexander Usyk. Alexander Usyk has went on record and said he's the best that he's ever fought. So how in the hell is Tyson Fury a hype job? You might not like Tyson because Tyson tells a lot of lies. He tells lies daily. He's a contradicting fool. I get it. But at the end of the day, we have to understand what he does in the ring is what he does in the ring. And what he doesn't do in the ring is what he doesn't do in the ring. So, you know, you guys are talking about like, oh, these hype jobs. Man, look. I can tell you what a hype job is. Let's go down the list with hype jobs. Bakole actually has a chin. Many people forget Anderson was landing big punches to his face and they were bouncing off. I don't remember too many punches that landed, to be fair. You know. King Mike Hall, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Jay Roos theory, Bakole doesn't seem to want to run it back with Hunter. You know, that's a good point. Good point, Jay Roos. Jay Roos and his theory. Yeah. I don't see that either. I don't see Bakole, you know, saying what he's going to do to Michael Hunter. He wants to call out AJ, and he's going to do this to FA, and all these other guys ducking him, and Zang, and I get Kabayel on. Okay, but get this, though. The guy that he should beat and avenge his loss should be Michael Hunter. And if anything, I would want that fight first just to settle the score. So that's a good point. You don't hear him talking about Michael Hunter much. So, hey, put that in your pipe and smoke it. Do you think Fury and Usyk took serious damage in their fights with each other? Not really. Not really. I think Usyk takes, average damage in each fight. I think each fight takes something out of him. But I don't think that I don't really think so. I think if for Tyson, I think the first fight really affected Tyson, but not the second. Promoters can't work with everybody. Well, yeah, I mean they can't, but at the same time, if you giving people shitty options because you got somebody else in place of that person, that's a whole different issue. Eddie don't know how to build fighters. He only has one mythology, and that's keep his fighters protected until there's a title shot available. That's why Boots will ruin his career. Well, Boots is with the right person then. If that's what you say, he's with the right person because I don't think Boots wants all that. Boots would have went to 154 if he wanted to do what he wanted to do with his career. And that wasn't Eddie's fault. You can't blame Eddie for something that Boots Ennis said. See, after that fight that he fought in the rematch with that cat that he fought, I can't remember his name. Understand this. This man said, man, I need to go to 154. Yeah, I need to go to 154. But then when the negotiations with Virgil Ortiz, then he said, I'm going to stay at 147. See, people could read that with their eyes closed. Like, yo, bro, you didn't say that. Your energy changed from that fight night at the end of that fight to negotiations with a guy at 154, Virgil Ortiz. And that disappointed me about Boots Ennis, but it made me realize, though, he's accustomed to that. So Luka Moore, like what you're saying about Eddie, he does that. Well, what about Al Heyman? Al Heyman does the same shit. He's just worse. Al Heyman, what he'll do, he'll build a fight past the realistic terms of it actually being as big as it could. You can only make a fight so big. You can only make that fight so big. So if you can't make the fight big enough, it's like, okay, you have to at some point. You can't, you got to fold. You can't hold the whole time. Then that's what he was doing with Al Heyman. He said he signed with Eddie because he wanted that money. You earn with Hearn, though. He wanted that money. And then, Eddie can, okay, I can get you these fights here. You know what I mean? But is his building status, is that good? No, it's not. His methods are not good with building fighters. No, they already have to be who they are. You know what I mean? They already have to be who they are. But understand, you go to the zone, and with all that competition there, with all that money floating around and circulating with the possibilities, somebody's going to kick your ass because it's not going to be somebody that they pulled out of bed. It's going to be somebody that's there for it. They're going to want it. And you better be about it if you're really ready for it. You better be willing to take it, like Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia made his retirement off of the zone. Mikey Garcia beat that guy, what's the guy that he fought Manny Pacquiao? He fought Adrian Broner. What's his name? I can't remember his name. Somebody help me out. Every promoter preserves their fighters or prevents them from tough fights for softer fights with more money. It's business, nothing personal. Kurt, what do you think about who would be the best? What do you think would be the best hybrid heavyweight box? I don't know, dude. I don't know. Constantin Cyrus, your opinion on Kabayel versus Zang? I think Kabayel by KO. I don't know. I mean, it's bad on both of those fighters because I feel that for Kabayel and Zang, it's a do or die situation. Kabayel went on points. He isn't knocking out Zang. Well, he could knock out Zang because see what people don't understand. Zang has a good chin. Bust that body up. Let's see what that body can take. See, Kabayel, man, he put them dudes down to the body. He didn't knock them out, just hurting them like with a right hand to upstairs. And that upstairs business for Kabayel is all a front. His thing is, yeah, he's going to hit you upstairs, but that's just to get close to you, to really nail you with those Mickey Wad shots. Uh-huh. His thing is, he's a tree chopper. So let's see if he can tree chop that big tree called Zang. Zang can't be KO'd. Okay. Now, if he gets KO'd, we will remember that. Okay. And I want you to donate 100 pounds. If Zang gets KO'd, I want you to donate. Turpentine, I want you to donate 100 pounds. Matter of fact, I'm going to put you on the spotlight. Hey, I'll screenshot it. You said he can't. But here's the thing, body snatcher shuts. Yep, $100. That's fine. Whatever. But listen, because if Kabayel does that, because see, Kabayel, he's in and out. If you look at Kabayel, bro, he's in and out. I've watched him too many times. He's in and out, 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 in and out. Back. No, I have not. He's still recovering from, hold on. He's still recovering from a car accident. I've been talking to the publicist. That's why, like, a lot of these publicists, like, don't tell publicists to get you interviews. Now, don't get me wrong, man. He's recovering. He's recovering with that. And honestly, this is what I think what happened with Miller. Miller has a gag order. Dimitri Salita, I think, has gagged Jarell Miller because you haven't heard from him since that car accident. So, no. Oh, Isaac, I have not. True, you can't rule out KO via body shots, but he isn't knocking out Zang headshots. Nah, I didn't say it. I didn't say headshots. No upstairs, but here's the thing. We'll see. I want to see that fight. Big Zang just doing his thing. And then, okay, back to what I'm saying. It's a do-or-die fight before those two guys. This is the fight that's ahead of them. Okay? That's before them. I get Kabayel, Zili Zang. This fight here is a do or die because Zang's more welcomed. He is more welcomed. He's got the Parker fight. He's got the Wilder fight. He got the two Joyce fights. So yes, he's high on the totem pole. But understand, he's old. So if he loses to Kabayel, he's not going to get another shot. He's just too old. He'll be 42 years old this year. I get Kabayel. If he loses, his promotional company sucks. They're not strong enough in backing resources to get him back in position to fight again. So if he loses, he's really out. He has to, listen, he has to be in a situation where he has to keep winning. He has to win. If I get Kabayel loses, he's finished because he doesn't have the Frank Warren. He doesn't have the Eddie Hearn. He doesn't have any of the known negotiators. Not a Bob Arum fighter. He's not none of that. Okay? If he loses, he's out. And he's a pretty young fighter. He's the, how old is I get Kabayel? You are not taking Zang's power if you can't take Hunter's power. The shoulder excuse is crap because he used that arm in the round after he claimed he got injured. Because German boxing is dead, sadly. Yeah. I get Kabayel. He needs to move, and he's probably just established there. He probably got a nice house, kids, or a girl or girls. You know what I mean? He's probably established in Germany, but Germany's a beautiful place. Don't get me wrong. It's beautiful over there. But if boxing's dead there, you have to move to another market. He needs to move to the UK. That's what's going to happen. I get Kabayel has to move to the UK. And if he beats Zili Zang, I think he should capitalize on moving and getting away from Germany. Okay? And I would do that before I get beat. because I know I'm already in position, or I already have a promoter that's going to at least try to get me another fight that can put me back in position. Now he doesn't have any of it. If he loses, if he falls to the big wall, bro, it's over for him. It's over for him. I'm sorry, it's over for Agate Kabayel. It just is. Basically, all non-British and American fighters have to keep winning or they'll get forgotten. Yeah. Some have the exception. Some have some pull, some juice, look, bro, you have to ask yourself what happens when Bob Arum leaves. And I don't think Bob Arum's going anywhere anytime soon, but eventually he will. He'll retire or whatever, or he'll pass. And what do you think will happen to a real American fighters at that point? Those guys are gonna fall through the cracks. Think about it. Who will we be left with? Al Heyman's went bankrupt. He's done. You guys. I just talked to Frank Sanchez. They don't have management no more. They don't have a company no more. The company is gone. The network is through. So they have to get in where they fit in over there. It's bad over there. With all those Al Heyman guys, that Al Heyman had connections with Showtime and Prime and Amazon and all that shit. Listen, they're not what you think they are anymore. They're done. They're finished. So who else are we left with? If Bob Arum leaves, Al Heyman's gone. Who else is there? Oscar De La Hoya? Oscar De La Coca is, look, dude, I mean, I don't really see him. And to be fair, not saying he's not a good promoter, because he is a good promoter. I just think that he had help when he started. He had Richard Schaefer, and Oscar was going through substance issues, but he had Canelo. That's if you picture Oscar without Canelo, Oscar would have been forgotten about a long time ago. And Oscar and Canelo ain't been together for the last 4 or 5 years, maybe longer. So Oscar, yeah, he's rich. He has certain fighters, but what does he have on the heavyweight status? Who does he have in his stable of heavyweights? Who does he have? So, I mean, you really can't go that route. Let's just be real. Give us your ideal 5 versus 5 Matchroom versus Queensberry list right now. Oh, no, man. Because, I mean, everybody's been beaten. Queensberry. I mean, shit, you got Zang. Zang for Queensberry. Daniel Dubois, obviously, he's the champ. Usyk, I don't see Usyk signing with Queensberry, so he'd probably go to Matchrooms. He's been with Matchroom. That would be interesting. Who else? Mark Bakole. Mark Bacole's with Boxer, so he ain't going, he's out. You know what I mean? That's another issue. I get Kabayel would probably be with Queensberry if he was smart. If I get Kabayel, I would sign with Queensberry if there was an opportunity for me. But then you got Zang over there, so probably I get Kabayel could go with Matchroom. I don't know. It's kind of hard to say, especially to try to dictate where a fighter would go because they're not there. Johnny Fisher. Bro, Johnny Fisher's going to get knocked out his next step up. Guaranteed. Whoever Johnny Fisher fights, that's a step up in opposition, he's getting knocked out. Watch what I tell you. Somebody's going to knock him out cold because they're not going to carry him like Dave Allen perceived to carry him. Dave Allen, if he had any sense, he would have knew to knock that boy out. Knocked him senseless. Knocked him out of the ring. Knocked him spark out. El Sparko. Like the Cobra says. Knock him out, El Sparko. He should have knocked that kid out. Shouldn't Bakole fight Efe Ajagba? Efe Ajagba is with ESPN, I believe. Wilder is a hype job of this generation. Fought one good fighter and lost. Turned into a whiny kid. Let's see what Wilder has left. Wilder, he fought Fury, and honestly, they wasted a lot of time with each other. You know what I mean? If you want to call it wasted. I mean, the trilogy fight was probably the best fight to me because the trilogy fight represented both 1 and 2 together. If you notice, it was like the Wilder from the first, and then the Tyson, the new versus the new Tyson Fury. So you had like both elements or all elements in the third fight. Versus the first fight, you had Tyson boxing, getting chinned a couple times, getting up from those knockdowns. Second fight, it was a beat down from Tyson Fury. Third fight, they not only knockdowns, but it was beat down. So it was everything that was included in the trilogy fight. Which, regardless of what I didn't want to see, I'm glad it happened. So wasting, I think that's a poor word that I used. But they did spend a lot of time with each other when I wish they would have fought other fighters. Because, see, here's the thing. They could have fought. See, for us to get shit like Tyson Fury versus Derek Chisora 3, okay, I think that would have been a proper time to fight Wilder a third time versus anything else. Tyson Fury could have fought Joshua at any time for the first time, versus fighting then. Then it would have been a different type of fight. And then we would have at least seen, an outcome of Tyson versus AJ. What type of fight would that produce? We would have saw that at least. We didn't see shit. Luca Moore, remember you said Usyk had no chance against Fury. Ooh, Muhammad bringing that them old facts up. Yeah, man, people got to eat crow. Kurt, Apataya fights tomorrow against Nkia. That's a very good fight. Yeah, I'm going to be live for it. I'll go live for it. Of course. Kurt, what if Zili Zang versus I get Kabayel becomes a draw? Then we will have to waste time seeing another fight. Which I hope that's not the case. Kabayel will be back even if he loses. I mean, when and how? I mean, he's young enough to, but you look how long it took. Do you guys know when I heard of Aget Kabayel? I heard of Aget or Agit. That's what I used to call him. Agit Kabayel. COVID. Bro, COVID was 5 years ago now. So, well, to be fair, 4 years ago, because when I heard of Aget Kabayel, I heard of him because he was that opponent for Tyson Fury. That was over 4 years ago. What has he done? What did he do from 2000, 2001, 2002? End of 2003. So it took him 2.5 years to get in position to fight Arslanbek Markmadov, which people thought, man, that awkward, big, rugged, twitchy neck, fucking bear wrestling Russian is going to destroy him. That's what we thought. And we were wrong. He went in there and busted that boy up and came in and out and worked that body and broke him down, chopped that boy down, and look, beat him down to nothing, bro. It was a glorious win. That's a fight I like to see because it's a fight that shows you how systematically he broke down an awkward guy like Arslanbek. Arslanbek runs in with an uppercut. He runs in, catch like he did with Akpekjuri. I butchered his name. But yeah. Bob and Don King will still be doing deals when they die. Oscar is a legend. I'm loving the guy more and more with his clapbacks. Yeah, a lot of times, he's just criticizing what's going on. He's speaking the facts, but a lot of times it's like Oscar's waiting for things to happen so he can have something to talk about. That's what I see about Oscar. You know what I mean? Bob is too greedy to sign a foreign heavyweight. Probably so. He may be right on that, except for Tyson. Greetings to all in the chat and to Kurt. Great live. Appreciate you, brother. Shug 1. Kurt, Frank Sanchez versus Zilly Zang. Ugh, would be interesting. It would be. I get demolished, buddy. Yeah, he did. He did. Kabayel has all the advantages to beat Zang. I mean, he's going to have to be mobile. I mean, we've seen it happen again. Is it out of the question? Absolutely not. Hell, if Joseph Parker can get a decision on Zilly Zang, why can't Zilly Zang? Why can't Kabayel? Kabayel has the same attributes as Joseph Parker. So we may be looking at something totally different. Nah, bro. Christmas clapback by Oscar was funny. Man, you know. Oh yeah. The 12th day of Christmas. Yeah, I did. Yeah, man. Yeah, Oscar's off the chain. I wonder if he's still on that stuff. I wonder if he's still on that stuff. I get can KO Zang. Because here's the thing. If he's not on the powder, this is just Oscar saying, you know what, this is me. You see what I mean? Topentine coming in with that super chat. Fury would dog fight AJ like he did Wilder in the second and third fight. What do you think would happen from the analysis of what we've seen of AJ and Fury lately? Man, it depends on which AJ shows up. It depends. It depends on which one shows up. See, this is what happens. AJ, I don't know what AJ was on with that Dubois fight. I don't know what he was on. Something tells me that he will be up for Tyson fight than a Dubois fight. Not giving no excuses, but let's put it this way. If Tyson goes in there, beats him, and he beats AJ like that, AJ's finished. Because that means AJ can't take pressure. AJ is a more timid version of Vladimir Klitschko because Vlad was like that. Vlad didn't like to be pressured or charged. He didn't like anybody charging his personal space. Was Fury a victim of a highway robbery against Usyk? Hell no. Hell no. It wasn't no victim of no highway. Look at the stats. Look at the facts. Look at the outcome. Look at the punch stats, the CompuBox. Look at the percentages of the fights, the punches that were thrown versus the punches that were landed. There were no knockdowns. There was no kind of below the belt. It wasn't no Danny Dubois shit. It wasn't nothing like that. It was nothing about this fight that said robbery on it. That's stupid. It's done. Look. Tyson Fury can claim that he won because he doesn't want to be the loser. I get it. He lost, bro. Tyson Fury lost, and he didn't do what he said he was going to do anyway. You know what I mean? But then he's going to say on another interview, oh, well, all I have to do is not get chinned. So all he thought in his mind, all I have to do is not get a knockdown from Usyk or not get hurt severely, badly against Usyk, then I could win a decision. So that means you didn't think you had to knock him out at all. So guess what? Go away. Just go away, take your time, drink your Guinness or your Murphy's or whatever fucking dark beer you're going to drink and get shit-faced until you come to a conclusion to either stay fighting or stay at home with the kids that I believe drives his ass batshit crazy. So I think that he leaves and goes off and fights and goes away to get away from them kids. All them kids that he's accumulated with Paris. Y'all, you had all them kids, and they're bad as shit, too. They're little demons. We found that out when at COVID time when we were all locked down, and he was trying to do the thing, and kids were flipping him off and cussing at him. Ain't no way my kid's gonna do me like that. Then you got all that money, and you're 7 foot damn tall, and you can't correct your kids. Get out of here, kid. Fuck you. You know what I mean? No, bro. No way. I think that Tyson Fury knew he lost. I just don't think he has his pride won't allow him to say, hey, I lost to the better man. Because that better man has beat guys that are his rivals. If that guy, here's my thing. If Usyk never beat AJ, it would be easier for Tyson Fury to admit the losses. I'm going to say that again. If Usyk never beat AJ, it would be easier for Tyson Fury to admit the losses. There, I said it. Okay? Where is that little kid that called Usyk a gap tooth? Man, yeah, he's at home drinking. Probably copped some snowy stuff. You know? When your children do clapbacks on you and you're the man of the house, that's nasty work. See, yeah, I hope he beat their ass when that live stream left. You know, all right, at Paris, where's those fucking kids? I'm going to kill you. France, Fury lost to Francis as well. And then see, that really made him look bad because that was a challenging fight for him. And AJ knocked him out in like the second round. You see what I mean? So, it is what it is. Yeah, man. Fury got trashed by a man half the size. Nah, it wasn't half his size. He just was incredibly shorter. The funniest thing in the world is seeing a short dude beat up a tall guy. It's just funny looking. Because he's punching upward, he's beating this tall guy up. It's almost like a kid beating up an adult or someone younger beating someone older. You know what I mean? It just doesn't really look right. Like that Andy Ruiz beating the shit out of AJ, bro, that was the funniest shit ever. If you look back at that now, I mean, when you get past the shock of it all, because it was shocking, you're like, what the fuck am I looking at? But understand, when you go back and look at AJ versus Andy Ruiz and Andy, it's the funniest shit ever. Muhammad Rayhan, why are you fixated on Wilder? Why is every AJ fanboy obsessed with Wilder? Who they think is garbage? Andy rabbit punched AJ. He did rabbit punch AJ. I mean, he rabbit punches everybody. Because he punches wide and he's short. And those punches land behind the head. AJ was scared of triple... who the hell is that? In Ngannou beating him than Triple D. Who the hell is Triple JC? I don't know who that is. So that means Fury wasn't a good big fighter like a big fighter beats a smaller one. Well, he was a better fighter overall, regardless of the size. Let's just put it that way. Snickers been quiet. Snickers is sitting there trying to heal his hand. He's probably smoking weed. I'm smoking my fucking hand. Miller, you broke my shit. I can't punch. I still feel pain. Give me some blunts. Don't forget Usyk was older. So basically Fury was smashed by a smaller and older fighter. A middleweight rabbit who was supposed to chase around the ring. That's what they thought. A novice is what Brits call JJC. Ah, okay. Big baby Miller turned his hands into butter. Miller just got a big ass head, so he was teeing off on Miller, but my dad ain't near 6 foot tall yet. He sure put some discipline in the house. Come on, Tyson. Yeah. Fury said he's no good and never was no good anyway. Yeah, he did say that. I think Miller would trash Fury too. I don't think Miller would because I think Miller's not mobile enough. Miller needs to lose more weight. If Miller lost, if he was about 270, 275, solid, he could make an impact in the heavyweight division based on his punch output. You're that big, you don't have to be. See, here's the thing. It's not that he's just as devastating. He's not the fact that Miller can't punch. It's the fact that he just is not this known for a big puncher. He's a big dude, though. Yeah, a big dude like that can hurt you. He can hurt you. Absolutely. Ruiz looks like Majin Buu. Cool Breezy, you're on your way to the next Lenny Bruce. Muhammad Rayhan, you clearly are because you call people who criticize AJ a hater, which is a hallmark of a fanboy. The disrespect towards Usyk is poor from some of the media. Yeah, they don't like Usyk because the people supposed to take Usyk out. Usyk has became a problem. Usyk is the problem. He's the true problem child. Because everybody was cool when Usyk beat AJ, but everybody thought that that was going to happen, you know. Okay, he defeated boxing. Yeah, he did. Like I always say, Usyk uses psychology. Usyk beat the boxing establishment. He did because I mean, but Tyson's supposed to have done his job and he didn't, and he couldn't. So you know, it is what it is. Is audio gone? Can you guys hear me? Is it? Psychology. Oh, okay. Psychology. Gotcha. All these big words, they say. If Fury had went for the KO in the fight, he probably would have gotten KO'd himself. Well, yeah, I mean, yeah. Somebody called. I thought it was a call, but it's not. It wasn't a call. It was a. Yeah. AJ Dubois and Fury all failed the Usyk test. It is what it is. Yep, they all lost. They all lost to one guy. They didn't lose. You know what I mean? Hey, it is what it is. DJ Anton, big up from South Wales. What's up, DJ Anton in the building? Counterpunch to you, brother. Usyk uses endurance. He does. He does. He does. The guy is different. He trains different. He's different because he prepares different. He has a chin. So he has the chin. He has the mobility of a cruiserweight. He has the chin of a heavyweight because he has a good durable chin, and he has the endurance of some fucking alien or something. So yeah, so his work regimen versus his mobility and in his whatever he has on the inside helps him. People complaining about the triple D low blow. Henry Cooper dropped Ali, and Ali's team cut his gloves to give him some more time. I do want to see Usyk versus Bakole in a rematch with Triple D. Well, keep in mind realistically, how long do you think Alexander Usyk will be able to compete at the level he's at? See, time goes on, and Usyk says he has much more. Does he have much more as far as eliteness, or has much more as far as being competitive? There's two different things there. You can be competitive, but that doesn't mean that you are where you used to be in order to get the job done. If you're not able to do what you're supposed to do or be able to get the job done, you need to sit down. See, here's the problem. A lot of these fighters were so good that then they get out of their prime. They're still good enough to be competitive. Not saying that they're going to win fights. They're just good enough to show what they used to do. But what they used to do, they can't do it in excess. They can't do it like they did then. They can show you moments of where and how they were so good at a point of time. But that point of time is gone. Now they're up. Now they're trying to deal with a person that's not even as talented, that's not even as good or technically good as them. But they have the stamina, they have the ability to do that because of the youth factor. Usyk, Ali, Liston, and similar had these builds around 6'3", 210 and 215 pounds. They were not super massive. No, they weren't. No. Some were like Sonny Liston was bigger in the back. He had a bigger back, he had a bigger base. His back was bigger, you know? I miss St. Don. I don't know where St. Don is. When Frank Sanchez was slimmer, I would have liked him to fight Usyk. Yeah, he's gotten big. He's had a kid. He's got some happy, that falling in love weight when you're around the house eating with your girl and don't know how to stop eating or stop, sleeping. So, yeah, that's what happens. Yeah, that's what happened to Frank. Frank is exactly what happened. And then look, and I have to give this to Errol Spence. Remember him? Errol Spence said it best, and he said it better than everybody else. He said, man, them Cuban fighters, man, they come over from Cuba, man. They used to eat rice and beans and shit and rum. Then they come over here, then they get comfortable. They got gold jewelry and money. They got houses, and they get comfortable. So they get lazy. So they don't, they get too comfortable. So they don't really want to. They don't really do what they used to do. So I already knew that about Ugas. Ugas, he got comfortable. So I knew all I had to do was press the gas, and I was going to tax his ass. That's what happened. I picked up that happy marriage weight myself. Yep, the happy marriage weight, man. You move in, you gain about 10, 15 pounds. Those gym visits get less and less. Man, I'll go next week. Next week comes, man, I'm going to Papados. Papados, Come on, you can do better, Kurt. Do it better. Yeah. I haven't heard them in a while. Look, when you hear these guys and you hear them in interviews, yes, you can emulate them based on what you hear. When have you heard from Errol Spence? Bro, I haven't heard from Errol Spence since when? When have you heard from Errol Spence? I don't know. I mean, well, that was amazing. Errol Spence's impression. Not many people can do that. I mean, he's from the South. He's from like DeSoto, like right up there. Kurt, Muhammad Ali is the greatest of all time. Absolutely. Let me get my kachava. It's kachava time. Okay, here we go. Kachava. Terrence fried that fish a long time ago. Yeah, that was sad. You know what, though? That wasn't even. Damn. That was like Andy. Damn. That was 2023. You guys know that fight was in 2023, right? Like in July of 2023. Last time I saw Errol Spence Jr., he did an interview with a man on chemotherapy who dreamed of meeting Errol Spence Jr. Errol Spence is a solid dude. Well, I wonder how solid he is now, though. I haven't heard from him. He was supposed to fight because, see, that Tim Tszyu and Sebastian Fundora fight. Yeah. He jumped in the ring and he wanted to fight, but the fight never materialized. And I'm trying to figure out why. Something happened, though, with that. My boy Zang coming in, super chat for the new year, 70 ZAR, which is 4S USD. If our currency was strong, I'd send more. Will do in the future, God willing. Appreciate the love, brother. Super chat to you, Mr. Zwain in the building. Appreciate the love, brother. Every little bit counts in this piece. Believe me, it does. Kachava, my man, CP. Wagwan. Absolutely, man. Kachava, that's my, man, this is my joint, man. I've been on it since the beginning of the year. So I'm trying to stay consistent, because that's, that builds like before I go to bed, I have all this energy before I go to bed. So I think the whole idea is, to use it or whatnot. Get stronger in the gym. You know, it gives you a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You know, it really puts lead in your pencil. Would you still like to see Spence versus Thurman? Nope. I haven't seen Thurman since when? Barrios? We haven't seen Thurman since Barrios. Bro, Thurman gets retired. Let me check Thurman, bro. I have to look. Hold it. Let's see. Keith Thurman. His last fight, Keith Thurman's last fight was... Dude, Keith Thurman's last fight was in February on the 5th of 2022. This man has been out of the damn ring again, damn near 3 years. And I'm wondering, what does Keith Thurman do? I mean, I know Manny Pacquiao, he got, about $5 million, so that's stretched. And I know he went to another country and he married his wife, and his wife's from, where's she from? She's from Nepal, I think, right? Is she from Nepal? Right? Yeah, from Nepal. So, let's ask this question here. How about this? How much does $3 million go in the country of Nepal, U.S.? Okay. Yeah, like 136 Nepalian dollars is $1. $20. Yeah. See, Keith knew what he was doing. Keith went and got him a chick from over in Nepal. And I think what he does, he probably rents his house out in Florida, in St. Pete, which is easy, because that's a beautiful part of Florida over there. And then he stays in Nepal with his girl. Yeah, he in Nepal with his wife. Because look, his wife. Yeah, he found his wife. They make a beautiful couple. And Keith just chilling. Look at Keith, man. Keith ain't worried about nothing. Look, Keith. look at Keith, bro. Keith looked like a Napoleon. Keith looked like the cats that run that store over at 7-Eleven. Because they're from Nepal. Listen. Yeah, he's good, man. Keith ain't fighting no more. Keith trying to fix all his little injuries and all his little stuff. And man, my wrist don't it don't twerk right, man. It got a little pop in it. So I went to the gym the other day, and boy, I hit that bag, and I felt that little sting. And I already knew that. I talked to my doc, man, my doc, and he gonna have to go back up in that bad boy and just make sure he get it right. Yeah. Kurt said Keith is looking like Pacquiao named his dog Thurman. Did he really do that? The man balling in Nepal. Yeah, he balling in Nepal, man. He's a million. He ain't never got to do nothing. He probably runs a boxing gym out there and owns a few stores. If he does that, he's good. And if you invest your money works for you instead of spending it like a fucking idiot. Yeah. I mean, that's what a lot of people do with money. Like, oh, well, I got $50,000. Well, why don't you buy a $30,000 property and make profit off of that? Even if you make $3,200 a year off of that, well, shit, it's paid itself off in years to come. But people don't look at that like that. How about Ward coming back? Hooley fight. I'm not sure. I'm see, this is what I noticed and I wanted to address to you guys too. Okay. We have Eddie Hearn. Now, this cat's supposed to have been robbed, right? He's supposed to have been robbed, which we come to find out that's false. But here's the thing. The views don't lie when it comes to news. News and views, it shows you what people are attracted to. That shit in Miami didn't happen. It didn't. Well, when I posted the updated video, nobody gave a damn. So that means a lot of you guys, or a lot of people, should I say, a lot of people like the idea of false news, like Trump fake news, right? Rather than legitimate stuff. What's good, Kurt? I didn't realize you were on. I just watched a live Frank Warren interview on Seconds Out. Yeah. Yeah, they don't love me over here, man. They like YouTube, man. YouTube tripping. YouTube does that, man. YouTube is just, it's this big conglomerate company that used to be the shit that got bought by Google. Now Google is running it like Tesla. You know? There's nobody concrete that you could actually really ever talk to, you know, that goes into your account, that looks at your videos, that looks at your views, that sees what you did versus what you're doing. Like, they don't do that. You don't have anybody that does it. Now, if you knew somebody in Google, that's a totally different issue. But no, you know, like those jobs, no, bro. Those, like, Google's weird like that. You know. Kurt's live. This guy's brilliant. He's almost as brilliant as me. From time to time, you gotta unsubscribe and resubscribe to make sure you get notifications. Yeah. Yeah, you have to activate it because I think that's like a hack. You know, that's the hack of YouTube. You got to unsubscribe and subscribe. So a lot of times, man, I didn't get it. So whenever you guys don't get a notification that I was live and it's not anywhere in your feed and you just didn't miss it, unsubscribe and then resubscribe. What is Kachava, Kurt? Kachava is it's a whey blend that has all the superfoods in it. Like every day I can feel it. It makes you sharper. It makes you more quick. It makes you think quicker, faster. Gives you more energy. You know what I mean? It's you know, it has all the superfoods in it, and it also can work as a meal replacement. I like to throw an organic banana in there, you know, for that extra fullness. If I knew I was doing something in the morning, so if I was going on set and I didn't want to eat all that damn set food or all that fattening ass craft services, I would go bring one of these and take it to the face, and then I could only just eat catering versus craft services. So when I get it back on a show, those shows, bro, especially like if it's a driving thing, bro, you'll get fat. I ain't got time for that because what'll happen is, let's say I get a book a Marvel movie, then I'm all, you know, I'm 250 pounds. Whereas before you started that show, you were 229, you know, 232, which is a good weight, 235. Now, when you get up to when I get to 240, okay, that's too much. But it's so easy to gain weight. As long as people watch your content, the videos will pop up. I get the notification when you just upload it. Cool. Well, that's all you need to know. Tehran, not everybody's like that, though. Not everybody gets that. So it's weird on how they decipher who gets what, right? You know, you need to get some sea moss or moringa. Yeah, man, sea moss is off the chain. Kurt, Muslim, will be one of the top heavyweights to come. I can't pronounce his last name. I get every video you upload. Tehran, that's great. You know, keep them coming, brother. Keep them coming. You know, you're one in thousands, which, you know, Very true. And ducked Ustinov claiming he couldn't fight because his uncle passed away. Bakole and Nelson been bad mouthing AJ again, getting ideas above their station. When you gonna get these clone accounts on lock, bro? Where's your moderators? What clone accounts? To be fair, I get notices for vids, but not the lives. You know what I think it is? You know what I think it's more of the lives. I think the live streams are an issue, and I don't know if they know how to fix it. To be fair, I just think that they promote what they promote. Like, there is no way in hell I have over 90,000 subscribers and only 39 people know about this shit, or the people, or the amount of people that seen it from the stream. There, you know what I mean? There would be no way that that happens. And I've seen lives from other people that have less subscribers, 15,000 subscribers, and has 3,000 people on there. I'm like, well, how the hell does that work? You know, I think it's a Bitcoin. It's a bit a cop out from Fury. If fights AJ, he should be targeting Dubois if he still thinks he's got what it takes. He's not gonna fight Dubois because if Dubois beats the shit out of him, that'll really look bad. YouTube don't care. They are too big now. Yeah, they don't care. First time I ever see you streaming, even though I have subscribed. Yeah, it's crazy. We, the true clan, Kurt. Yep, this is it. You know? Hey, it's all good. You know, if this was church, I know you all by name. It ain't like one of those big super churches. Don't know you. Like, there's the pastor. He's like a star. You know, he don't even know who the hell you are. You've given this man $5,000 that year, you know? Oh, I'm sorry. The church. But if Dubois beats Fury, he'd retire him. Yeah. Yeah, he would retire him. He'd go out like Vlad. I can't do it anymore. I'm going home to Paris. I'm going to have me 10 more kids. Brick Top won't give us Fury versus Dubois. Yeah, he's like Shelly Finkel. He knows better than that. Shelly knew better than that. That's why you didn't get a Wilder versus Vlad fight. He ain't doing that. No. I seen a thumbnail but thought it was tomorrow at 6. My bad. Well, I have another one. I have another one tomorrow. Thanks, Spaghetti Monster. This in a church. By the ferocious Roy Dixon and Mac Weed, with other Fury fangirls cloning the accounts. I remember Mac Weed. I remember that. I remember Mac Weed. Remember a lot of guys, man. That just, you know, people just fall off. But like, I just chopped it up. Like, people just don't know you're live. YouTube doesn't do their job. I think what they do to certain channels, I think they lock down certain notifications for certain channels due to whatever. How it was explained to me, people, was because I chatted with one of the YouTube people, and they said it's a certain type of list or something, or no, it's a certain rating you have. And I'm like, well, what dictates the rating? Oh, well, the rating is dictated by if you curse, if you don't curse, it's a rating system. Yeah, YouTube has a rating system on how much they promote you based on your activity. You know? So I don't see Fury versus Dubois, and I'm kind of over the older fighters. I'm ready for the new school of fighters who is willing to fight everyone. Tehran, I am too. Like the Danny Dubois of the world. Let's see it happen. Let's see these guys fight. Let's see him get it on, you know? Yeah, it's on PBC. Keith saw the video clip of Pacquiao naming his third dog Thurman. Too funny. Yeah, I named him Thurman. I love you, Thurman. Hey, Thurman. Yeah, man. That's crazy. But yeah, Keith's good, man. Keith ain't worried about boxing no more. Keith fought the great Manny Pacquiao and lost to a congressman. You know? And it's crazy. He only has one loss. The top 10 all whipped my ass. Probably the top 15. It's all good, Anthony. You know, I appreciate the honesty. How good do you think Triple Knee is? So talking about Danny Dubois? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see, man. Thurman has a glass belly. Yeah, he does. I was thinking of that. Damn, was that the Mario Barrios fight? This was the Mario Barrios fight. This dude, look, dude. Oh, that's pretty cool. All right. Keith Thurman. This man ain't fought in 3 years. He ain't fighting no more, man. Now he'll come back to the gym and get in shape a couple weeks and look good. The muscle memory kicks in. He'll start talking, doing a few interviews, and don't fight nobody. He'll have another surgery. Dubois number 2 for me. Only one man ahead of him. Usyk a cheat. Okay. As soon as anyone touches Thurman to the body, he would be on skates. Yeah, man. It's crazy. Yeah, man. He's I remember when Manny, man. That was a great live stream. But understand, like, big live streams like that, they still happen. They just happen on occasion. Which still sucks, though, because it's still like, hey, what's the deal? You know? Where did you guys go? Like, where all those guys go? But you know what I think, though? This is what I do think. I think that it's YouTube. If I go through StreamYard, people get notifications. So I know it's actual that. Yeah, I have some new news, factual news on Wilder coming after this live stream, which I will wrap up in about 2 or 3 minutes. Germany in the house. Respect. Tony Giwa in the building. What's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Good prediction, buddy. You are showing me you are an actual boxing fan. Moen Tony. Daniel hasn't reached his prime yet. He's knocking everyone out. Hey, thanks, big man. Big fan out here. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you in the building all around the world. I mean, the world, Craig. Top flight boxing. This is top flight boxing news. Nah, man, but I appreciate you guys for coming on. Nearly 2 hours of counterpunching. Stay tuned for more videos that you will get notifications for, unlike the live stream. But I appreciate you guys, the proud, the Counterpunch Boxing News crowd coming in, joining me today. But we will be live tomorrow. So tell a friend, please like and share. And everyone has been counterpunched. Peace!